Servus Männer, it's Red Pill Germany again. I am finally back from my little unannounced break. I just took a couple of days off to deal with some private stuff and to relax a little bit afterwards. I'm doing quite alright, thank you everyone who asked. And today I want to let you know what is going on in Germany, especially between Germany and Russia. There is a media war that is escalating right now, and that has to be seen, of course, in light of the larger geopolitical situation between Russia and the so-called West. But for the purposes of this video, I really want to focus on the media battle. And the first salvo was fired by Germany, of course. And they didn't even dress up as Polish guys this time. So what Germany did is that they straight out cancelled the Russian-German language broadcasting here. They claim that they didn't have a license and they shut them down. This program is RT Deutsch, and that is basically Russian state media for other countries and other languages, and RT Deutsch is of course the version in German. The Russians said that they have a Serbian license and that under European law allows them to broadcast in Germany too. But when our glorious foreign minister Annalena Baerbock was in Russia, she said during a press conference that Germany doesn't allow any state media to broadcast in Germany. I had to laugh so hard when I heard that, because Deutsche Welle, of course, is also German state media, and the public broadcasting that we have in Germany, well, I would say that it is also a kind of state media. I made this point time and time again. They officially claim that they have nothing to do with the state, but all the people who are in there are affiliated with the larger political parties that we have here, and their funding is realized by a household fee that, as the name says, every household in Germany has to pay unless you're unemployed or something. So it is a hidden, a masked tax, and I think that is a very poor disguise. I think it is very clear that the public broadcasting in Germany is nothing but state media, in fact. So I had to laugh very hard when Annalena Baerbock said in horrible German, very wrong, she used words that don't even exist in the dictionary, kindliche staatliche Einmischung. Yeah, she doesn't even know what she's talking about. She is not even able to speak German, but I'm not surprised, and that is neither here nor there. So what did Russia do? It didn't take them very long to respond, and what they did is they shut down Deutsche Welle in Russia. Their office in Moscow was closed as far as I know. The Germans who worked there are no longer accredited journalists in Russia, as I have read, and they are considering to put them on a foreign agent list or something along those lines, which, yeah, well, what do you expect? And the most hilarious thing is, of course, how the German public media and the German state media and the German politicians, they are acting as if that was completely different to what they did to the Russians first. First of all, the wording is so ridiculous. They call RT Deutsch a propaganda mouthpiece of the Kremlin. While Deutsche Welle, on the other hand, oh, that is just the German foreign broadcasting, you know, for all these poor Germans who live abroad and who want German news there or something. Yeah, this is why they are broadcasting in all different languages, and it is, of course, taxpayer funded, and it is German state propaganda. What else would it be? That is being spread all around the globe by Deutsche Welle. But in all these statements and articles, they use the word propaganda for the Russian state media, and they use some other word like foreign broadcasting for the German state media. And some of them were even that ridiculous that they literally said, well, our state media is just trying to offer a different perspective, while the Russian state media is just saying stuff that we don't like and that is absolutely wrong. And yeah, you get the point, I guess. And once again, I had to laugh really hard when I saw that the German public broadcasting is commenting on that, and even the German state media is commenting on that in the German state media, and they're calling the Russian state media propaganda and the German state media is just, offering a fresh, different perspective, and it's horrible what they did. It's an act of aggression, and it is a completely different thing when we do it, of course. And when I read and hear all of that, I just have to ask myself, who do they think is listening to that? And it's not just this topic. It's also when it comes to freedom of the press issues or the legal system. When I say we, but I mean the EU and Germany, when they criticize Poland and Hungary, for example, while we do exactly the same stuff here. Do you think that the courts and the judges are independent in Germany, or especially the state prosecutor? No, they're not independent. They're controlled by politicians. And what happens when one of the judges is doing his actual job and not just following orders from some politician? Well, then his house is raided. That is what you could see during this China bug crisis. You saw that what happens when a judge actually is following German law and not just following orders. And that just goes to show that we have the exact same issues as some of these Eastern neighbors, but we just use different words for it, and we say, yeah, but we're the good guys, we're on the right side of history, so when we do it, it's fine. And once again, it's the same principle. We do the same stuff, and of course we have state media, and of course the German taxpayer is forced to sponsor or to pay for German state propaganda all around the world that is spread by Deutsche Welle, but when we do it, then it's good. And when other people do it, then it's misinformation and it's harmful and it's propaganda and it has to be stopped and cancelled and deleted. Now, full disclosure here, I sometimes used, not a lot, but I sometimes used RT Deutsch as a source because when they were reporting about things that happened in Germany, then they in fact really offered a different perspective, or let's say they focused on things that the established media and the state and public media in Germany didn't cover, or they covered in a very vague way. I think you know what I mean. A man did something and we cannot say anything else. Or some youths have done something, but we can't go into details. Now, there is also a diaspora Chinese news outlet that covers many incidents that the German media mostly ignores. And yeah, in one case, I actually had to resort to a Turkish newspaper source because the German news were just not reporting about it. Because that was, once again, one of these horrible incidents that the German media doesn't talk about. But, the victim was actually a person living in Germany. But how do I say that? He's not originally from Germany. He was from Anatolia. And it was a regional newspaper from that area in what is today Eastern Turkey that reported about this incident in Germany, while the German news didn't report about it. At least they didn't give all the details. So yeah, sometimes it is important to have foreign media in your country because the domestic media, state or corporate media, they are so brought into line that they're just following these fixed official speech codes. They're lying by omission, and their framing is of course what the state, what the globalists want. Yeah, it is only foreign media sometimes who gives you the real story or the whole story. So why not allow all different state media propaganda outlets in all countries? How about that? And then the people can just, pick and choose who they listen to and who they want to believe. Or you ban all of them, same to me, I don't want state media anyway. But what the German line is right now, that is that the Russian state media is evil and needs to be banned, while the German media is vital and important in order to promote the interests of the German state in other countries. Yeah, that's propaganda, that's all that is. But yeah, these things of course don't happen in a vacuum. Right now, US coastal elites and globalist organizations are trying to pull us into a new conflict. This time, it is not children on the floor of hospital wards or WMDs or collapsing towers or whatever stories they used in the past. This time it is a video of a false flag that is planned, but they cannot tell you any details and they have no idea, but we should believe them. Or something along those lines. But fear not, Germany has already responded. The Ukraine was demanding a long list of materials, I should say. Materials that even the German army doesn't have, and the Germans would be glad if their army were actually equipped that way, but they want that from us, really? But we ran the extra mile. We really bended over backwards to help our ally. What? No, right. The Ukraine is not our ally. They're not a NATO country. Why are we? Well, we gave them 5,000 helmets. Isn't that something that you can build on or that you can do something with? Well, at least now we can rest assured that everything is well because their heads are really well protected by German helmets. And I was a little bit angry again that the German media talked about steel helmets, and I really don't think that they're giving them World War II helmets or something like that. Helmets nowadays are made from Kevlar, and I guess that is, I hope at least, what we ship to the Ukraine. Alright, I hope you're all well too. Let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. So long, Servus, Kameraden.